Angels, this is Leia, and in today's video I wanted to share with you these cards, the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck by Victoria Mosley. This was something I was planning to get, but I received it as a gift over the holidays, and I'm really appreciative of that. Now I also wanted to say, by the way, that you don't have to be familiar with Oracle cards to love this deck. These cards are very easy to use, so if you're a fan of vintage and retro stuff, like I am, as I've said a million times before, this could fit into your collection of old school themed items if you find that you're drawn to the cards. Anyhow, before we continue, for those of you awesome viewers who've been following the latest videos on this channel, this one includes the bonus channeled segment, as all the last ones have, so stay tuned for that if you enjoy hearing inspirational messages, since this one might relate to you. Alrighty, let's take a look at the cards. Hey again, Angels, and welcome back. Now, I really wanted to put this review out right now instead of later on because I'm planning to do some reading videos that are going to use these cards, so I figured I might as well show you them right now if you enjoy our reading videos. Anyhow, so here's the box. It's sturdy like a lot of Oracle card boxes are, and this particular one is published by US Game Systems Inc., by the way. I love the silver swirls on the lid, as well as the detail on the sides, and I also like the color scheme a lot, which you will see continues on the inside with this really pretty, rich teal color. Some of you might not care much for packaging, but this part of the review is for those of you out there who are very visual in your appreciation of your cards, including the box, which to me personally makes a difference since I store my cards in their original packaging. Now let's see the guidebook. This is it right here, and it's 79 pages long. It begins with an introduction about the events that led to the creation of the cards, and I enjoy that the author included that story. Now there are card spreads here, which is super awesome since there are 5 made especially for this deck, but we see them at the very end of the guidebook. After the introduction, the book goes into card meanings, which we have in alphabetical order. Each card has about a page or a little over a page worth of text. And then on page 65, we have some guidance on how to use the cards, including instructions on shuffling the deck and reversals, if you choose to use them. And all this is followed by the 5 custom layouts I mentioned earlier, which concludes the guidebook. Now let's take a look at what I bet many of you have been waiting for. The actual cards. There are 52 here, by the way. So here's a closer look at the card backs. Their texture is more on the matte side, but I do detect a slight gloss in their finish. For cardstock, these are in no way flimsy, although mine are already bent backwards a little bit. Let's see if it shows up enough for you to see. It doesn't bother me though. Size-wise, these are bigger cards, relatively speaking, but pretty standard if you already use Oracle decks. Let me show you a quick comparison. So as compared to a standard Blue Angel publishing card, this one here is from one of Lucy Cavendish's decks. They're pretty much the same size. Yeah, they are. Now here's a card from one of Doreen Virtue's decks, and you will see that the Vintage Wisdom Oracle one is bigger. And not that it really matters, but I thought I'd mention it because most Oracle decks don't. This deck has a cover card. Now in front, the cards have colored borders that aren't too thick. Some of them are mossy green, others are a lighter green closer to teal, and I don't know if it's showing up enough for you to be able to tell on camera. And other borders are this mauvey purple. As for the pictures, some of you will likely recognize a few of the images here. For example, there are figures from paintings by Waterhouse. And also, Matahari shows up several times here as well. And those are just a couple of examples. I'm sure that you'll recognize a few of the other images if you've been exposed to Victorian stuff, even just a little bit. So these here are some of my favorite images. Needless to say, I find them really attractive. I think it's so awesome how the images and backgrounds have been all mixed up and some new colors have been introduced that aren't part of the original images. It's just a cool effect. And that concludes our look at the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. I hope you enjoyed it if you stayed all the way to this point, and now I'm inviting you to stay a little bit longer for just a couple of minutes more if you love inspiration. Hi again, angels. Welcome to our bonus channeled segment, which is my thank you to you who regularly tune in. If this is your first time here, what we do is listen to our intuition, guides, angels, and friends of the light in spirit for something helpful and uplifting. Several of you viewers may get a message that applies to you, but not everyone will get one. So if you want to catch future editions of this segment, just in case there's an inspiring message you can relate to, make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, for this session, I am feeling drawn to acknowledge you who feel like you have something important to say, but you're not exactly confident you have the skills to get your message out in the world. You don't feel you're a good enough writer, maybe, or you get stage fright, so you've ruled out being any kind of speaker or instructor. But listen, if you were to allow yourself, even for just a few moments, to think outside the box and get creative and get in touch with the various talents you have, you're going to come across a solution. Especially in the world we live in now, there are so many ways you can put yourself out there. Why not blog, for example, and just use your regular conversational voice instead of being so concerned about communicating in a so-called proper voice. Or if you enjoy speaking but don't want to show your face, you can do podcasts. Not only that, but there are so many other avenues to get your powerful messages out there. Maybe you're an artist who can create pieces or works of art that make a statement. Or maybe you're musically inclined in some way and can use songs to reach other people. Again, these are all just examples, and you very well could have other ways of reaching people that I didn't even come close to mentioning here, but the point is, don't let conventional thinking or what you may have been taught discourage you from sharing your message, as long as you harm no one, yourself included, and are uplifting instead of putting anything or anyone down. What you have to say is valuable. Not everyone will resonate with your beliefs or what you stand for, but those who can benefit will never know unless you find a way to share yourself. I wish you well. And that's it for this edition of our channeled segment. Stay tuned to future videos if you didn't get a message this time. Who knows, next time it might be for you. Thank you, angels, for joining me for this video. If you liked it or found it helpful in any way, thank you so much for giving it a thumbs up and for sharing it with others whom you know will like it also. Until next time, take very good care of yourself. I wish you well and send you so much love. Namaste.